Both the helpline and counselling services frequently hear from people with an unexpected and sometimes alarming side effect of sight loss, visual hallucinations. It's a phenomenon called Charles Bonnet Syndrome, after the 17th century natural scientist who first described it. The most important thing to remember about it is that it is not a disorder of the mind, but a normal response of the brain to loss of vision.
We know that when we lose vision, the nerve impulses from the camera part of our eye, from the retina, decrease to the brain, and the brain cells then fire off when they shouldn't do. And it's that spontaneous firing off of cells in the brain that causes the hallucinations.
There were people going across a crossing outside the local hospital, and all of a sudden it looked to me as though there were cars coming and crossing there as well, knocking people flying. I nearly screamed, but suddenly realised that nobody else was taking any notice of it, and they were just carrying on talking or walking or whatever, as though there was nothing happening. And then I looked away and looked back again, and it had all gone.
It's not a sign of mental illness or dementia or any other sort of mental problem. It's something that all of us can do if we lose our sight.
I really did think, what on earth's the matter with me? I thought, 'cause I just didn't at that time connect it up with the eyesight problem. And I did get a bit frightened, but I didn't mention it to anybody because I thought they'd think I was daft, silly, stupid, whatever.
A typical hallucination will be relatively straightforward. It'll be of a pattern, a tapestry perhaps, or brickwork or lattice work. And most patients that have Charles Bonnet syndrome will describe an experience of that sort. About half of them go on to have more complex experiences.
I'm an artist, and I was up in my studio and I suddenly noticed things interfering with my vision. The initial ones were slightly abstract, slightly latticey, but jumbled up, not a regular lattice pattern image. And I was a little bit concerned, and being an artist, I thought, well, I'll do some pictures of them, which I did. And as I say, this is the first one I did. I did have other images of what I call gargoyle heads, which is this one here, and various sort of heads like that, and in black and white, strangely.
Charles Bonnet syndrome hallucinations tend to occur in a state of drowsy wakefulness, so when you're sitting in a chair, not falling asleep, but sort of relaxing. And so if you arouse yourself by walking around, making a cup of tea or something, that sometimes breaks the hallucinations. Putting the lights on if they're off, or switching them off if they're on, changing some form of ambient lighting condition sometimes helps as well. And sometimes people describe simply opening or closing their eyes, in effect changing the light conditions, can also stop them.
It is important that people do, if they have anything like this at all. I would say the best source to go to initially is the Macular Society. That is their area. They have their specialists, etc., who can advise them as to what information to give people, and they are very helpful.